Hey, what's up YouTube? Houston here. And for those of you just finding my YouTube channel, welcome. Please remember to hit that subscribe button and that bell. And for those of you that's been following me and supporting me, salute. And for my favorite patrons, always double salute. Now, today's video, we're going to be talking about how to build business credit with bad personal credit. Now, understand that I'm a person that truly believes that fix your personal credit. The reason is because the higher your personal credit, the more money you're able to get. Now, also adding to that is that there's a difference between business credit and business funding. Now, with business credit, most people are under the impression that they're talking about business funding. But for most companies that's out there talking about business credit, they're really focusing more on trade credit. Like they're talking about building a relationship with like Dun and Bradstreet, Paydex score, trying to get like net 30s and net 15 accounts and stuff like that. But in terms of helping you understand that you actually want business funding, you want business lines of credit, you want business credit cards with American Express, Visa, MasterCard. Those are the things that you want, okay, and business loans, right? So with business credit, yes, you still can get funding. However, because of your situation, if you're not actually in business or generating revenue in the business, then you're going to have to start from scratch with building the foundation. And I'm going to share with you exactly what it is that you must do. Now, the first thing I always tell people, do not create a business in these states, okay? Nevada, Wyoming, Delaware, and South Dakota. The reason is, if you're not doing business in these states for at least 6 months, again, the state that you actually are doing business in, their state laws can supersede where you actually have the business set up in, okay? So that's number one. Number two, you have to understand this, please, all right? In reference to your state offering funding. Sometimes when you are registered in a different state, but you're doing business in the state you reside in, you may not qualify for state and local funding. All right, so that's another thing you have to think about in terms of where do I want to set up my business. Also in terms of lending, like a lot of financial institutions. When you're in one state and your business in another state, they're looking at this, okay? They're looking at this and they're wondering, hey, how come your business is over here? Did you file taxes in that state? You have a bank account in that state? All of these questions come up. So that's the reason I always tell people it's best to set the business up in your own state to avoid a lot of these headaches. So if you're not residing in these states, you're not doing business in these states for at least 6 months, then I would definitely tell you do not start a business in these states. It's very important. And it could hurt your business opportunities to raise more funding. Now, here's something else. Do not buy a shelf corporation. Okay, and here's three main things that you should understand why I tell you don't buy a shelf corporation, especially if you don't understand how to operate one and how to make a good benefit of it. Here's the thing. Number one, most of the time when people are selling shelf corporations, they have not kept up to date with filing the taxes on that shelf corporation. That's number one. Number two, most people, when they're selling you a shelf corporation, more likely have not kept up with the bank accounts on that corporation as well. Okay, and going back to, like I said, buying a shelf corporation, you more likely are buying a shelf corporation from those 4 states that I just named or whatever. So in terms of they don't have the taxes updated, they don't have the bank account. Now here's a big one, number 3, and it's very important. You have to understand this. When you take over a shelf corporation, the person that may have owned that shelf corporation may have dissolved the corporation, but they dissolved it with outstanding debt. If you revive that corporation, you potentially can revive that debt and you become the owner of it. We have had several clients that have invested in shelf corporations. And when they invested in those shelf corporations, because they had outstanding debts on it, they inherited those debts. One guy, he had $89,000 in debt on a shelf corporation that he did not create. It was from the previous owner. But because he took over the shelf corporation, he accepted liability for it. Okay? So that's the reason I'm telling you guys. I would always encourage you to set up a corporation from the ground up versus taking chances on starting a shelf corporation. If you don't understand how to set your corporation up, the right type of entity to do it in, then check out the link below, schedule a consultation, let us walk you through it, okay? Or we can do it for you. Now, here's another thing that can stop you from getting the funding that you are trying to get, even if you have bad credit. Your NAICS code. This is so important because this is one of the most important things. Because most lenders, if they see that you're in a high-risk industry, like in transportation, restaurant, credit repair, those type of things, you may be selling CBD products, marijuana products, those type of things are high-risk NAICS codes. Okay, so you need to navigate to find a more friendly code in order to do what you need to do for us, raising money. Okay, real estate investment, any terms that you have in your business that has the word investment in it is very dangerous to your business when it comes to funding. So do not, I repeat, do not just go in with a high-risk NAICS code. Again, if you do not understand what's the best lendable code for your business, click the link to set up a one-on-one consultation and let's talk about it. Now, here's something that you have to. If you have bad personal credit and you're trying to build business credit, the strategy that I always tell people is making sure you choose the right banks. Okay, this is so important because the right banks are going to report to the business credit bureaus, and which is going to give you more credibility, going to give you a grade, going to give you a number so they can know, hey, is this person an individual or is this business the type of business we actually want to lend money to. Okay, so that's very important. Now, that being said, all right, once you set up your business, get the EIN number. Now, for some of you all, you may have a existing number for your DBA, all right? If you're going to restructure the business, do not use that existing EIN number. The reason why you do not want to use that existing EIN number, tax ID number, okay? The reason you don't want, because it can actually create an audit. Trust me, when I started out many years ago, it happened to me. I messed around. I used a LLC EIN number for my corporation, and it just opened up the doors for the IRS. And here's another thing. If you're operating as a pass-through company, LLC, DBA, S corporation, you more likely, if you get an audit, you more likely are going to get amateurs, people that really don't understand the tax code. And because they don't understand the tax code, that means you have to understand what it is that they're looking for. All right, so that's the reason I'm telling you guys, please be careful. Another thing that would also spark an audit is overstating your expenses. Okay, so with your CPAs, your attorneys, they're saying, oh, do this or whatever, you have to be careful because they can overstate your expenses and that can also draw in an audit as well. All right, so you need to understand that, again, Now, talking about business bank accounts, this is so important. Even if you have bad or poor credit, I would still tell you, make one of these financial institutions your primary bank. Here's the reason why. Because who they report to. Now with American Express, and I made a video, American Express not only offer savings account, business account, personal accounts. So they're a full-fledged bank now. So now I would tell you, hey, I would consider opening up a bank account with American Express. Even if you have bad credit, I would still open up the bank account with them because they still work on internal scoring, because it's not impossible for American Express to give you a credit card even if you have a 615 credit score. It's possible. Okay, but again, it's all about the internal score and the relationship. Now, that being said, American Express reports to Small Business Financial Exchange. They do not report to Dun & Bradstreet. Small Business Financial Exchange shares that information with Dun & Bradstreet. Now, also, you have to understand, there's one factor here that you're looking at on the screen that should tell you something. Small Business Financial Exchange is more important than Dun & Bradstreet. They're more important than a Paydex score. They're more important than a Dun's number. So that's the reason you want to go with one of these financial institutions, okay? Now you have Chase that reports to Experian, Small Business Financial Exchange, DNB, and Equifax. You have Capital One that reports to DNB, Experian, Small Business Financial Exchange. You have Citi that reports to Experian, Small Business Financial Exchange, Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax. You have Bank of America, Wells Fargo. They report to Small Business Financial Exchange. Okay. You have U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank, they report to Dun & Bradstreet, Small Business Financial Exchange. PNC did a merger with BBVA. So they report to Small Business Financial Exchange. BBVA, they actually offer a secured business credit card. So you want to see if they still offering that product since PNC checked over with them. All right, and we're going to talk more about the secured cards in a minute, but I just want to let you know. Now, SunTrust, they merged with, I forget it, but now they're Truist, and they report to Small Business Financial Exchange as well. Now, again, I'm not a big proponent of net 30s. However, I use these net 30s because they are a backdoor to helping you build up your business credit the fastest to be able to get funding. One more thing that I must add to that is this. Once you open up your business bank account, make sure that you are making weekly deposits, okay? That's very important because the operation, the financial operation of the business really makes a difference, okay? Next to picking the right NAICS code, making those weekly deposits really make a difference, okay? And making sure that you have maybe 1 or 2, even 3 bank accounts open with that financial institution for internal scoring. Now, you have Shirtsy, but you have to be in business at least 90 days, but they report to Equifax, CreditSafe, Small Business Financial Exchange, Sonia, and National Association of Credit Managers. Let me tell you guys something about these net 30s and what's happening. Sometimes you would wonder why you just invested some money to buy some net 30s and they have not showed up yet. Well, with these financial institutions now, they want you to either pay an annual membership, they want you to purchase from them multiple times as well, okay? So also with your net 30s, they may not say the name of the company on your file. They may not say the name of the company on your file. So when you're looking at it, you're like, okay, how come I don't see this company I just purchased? Because they don't give that. Even like on the business credit, like with the banks and stuff, you may not see the name of the bank on your business credit file. All right, so just keep that in mind. Now you have Summa Office Supply. They report to Experian and Equifax. They also give you a letter of reference to send to other business credit bureaus, which is very powerful. Now Quill, again, they report to Experian and Dun & Bradstreet. But the reason I like Quill, especially if you have bad credit, Quill has a component in it. If you're able to get the account, that account, you can actually leverage it because of the financial component in it to be able to use some of their financial instruments to make deposits into your business bank account. So that way, if you're shoestringing your business and stuff, being able to leverage a Net 30 account to be able to help fund your business bank account. All right? Now you have Wise Business Plan. Wise Business Plan does not have to, Wise Business Plan, you do not have to buy a business plan from them. They have other products and stuff, okay? And they report to Equifax, Experian, and Dun & Bradstreet. Then you have Nav. Now, Nav have two products. They have their Business Loan Builder product and their Business Boost. And they report to Experian, Equifax, and Dun & Bradstreet, okay? So I'll put a link below so you can get access to some of these as well. Now, here's where I would tell you, if you have bad credit, but you at least have a 580 credit score, one of the first unsecured credit cards I may attempt to get is the Capital One Spark Classic Business Card, okay, with a 580 credit score. Now, here's something that you have to understand that most people make a mistake. Capital One, they're very stingy in terms of giving you startup funding, all right? So they may give you maybe $300-500. I would tell you to use the card. The reason you want to use the card because Capital One is still reporting that to the business credit bureaus, okay? And what you want is as much data as possible, positive data as possible, reporting to the business credit bureaus, okay? So that's the reason that I'm telling you start with a Capital One card. If you have bad personal credit, this may be one of the cards that you want to consider. Now, another one is the Wells Fargo Secured Business Credit Card, okay? You have to put your money up front from $500 up to $25,000. But again, as you want this information because it's data that's going to be reported to the business credit bureaus, okay? And you're building a relationship with Wells Fargo. Now, you have Divvy. Divvy is a company, they're a new fintech company, okay? And the good thing about Divvy, if you have bad credit, all right, they still offer a business credit builder program. And I would tell you, if you don't instantly get approved for that line of credit, then I would still get in their business credit bureau program because they still report. That's all you want is data to be reporting to your business credit file to help build up your business credit. And these are the things that you need in order, if you have bad credit and you're trying to build up your business credit the fastest to get funding and stuff like that, you need these type of accounts on your business credit file, okay? So I would tell you, if they offer a credit builder program, you need to accept it. Sign up for it. Put the security account. Once the account is funded, then use the account. Keep on using the account, paying it up, using the account, because again, they report. And that's what you want, them to report positive data. Now, if you have more questions about business credit, about personal credit, how to remove some personal items off of your personal credit, click the link, schedule a one-on-one consultation. All right, that's very important because what it's going to do is going to share with you. What I'll do, I'll share with you some of the strategies that may benefit you and your new business, as well as helping you understand why you need to pick the right NAICS code and why you need those specific banks to start out with to help you get funding. So this is Houston with three-way funding For those of you that's been watching my videos and supporting me, salute.